Hi guys, my name is Carol Wiggins and I am the instructor for BCIS 1305 section N01. This is a fully online class, which means you do not have to come and see me. You don't have to come to a class on campus. You do not have to come to classes for tests. You can do everything from home or from work or remotely or whatever you need. That being said, if you ever need my help, you are free to come to my office anytime that I'm here, and I'm more than happy to help you. I'll also have online office hours that you can get me that way. We'll do that through Skype, Skype for Business, and I have a link that I will send out to y'all that has that meeting time. It's basically an online meeting so that everybody can join that needs to. What Skype will allow us to do is not only will we be able to communicate with one another, but I'll be able to see your screen and vice versa if we need to. And I can actually take control of your screen if you allow me to show you how to do something. So it really helps to facilitate the remote instruction and assistance that you may need. And there are students that go through this class that speak to me very, very little, send maybe 1 or 2 emails and that's it, and they just do their work and they go forward, and that's fantastic if you're one of those students. Not everybody is like that. If you are not one of those students, then we'll deal with it. Help me, let me know who you are. Email me at any time. I will respond as quickly as I can. And I'm here to help you. So this is the landing page for our course. Now, a couple of things are going to change as I'm looking at this. We are not using my lab, so you can ignore this, this little widget. I'm going to get rid of it, but until I do, you're going to see it. Anytime we used to use Pearson and My Lab and Mastering, and then we moved to McGraw-Hill this semester, so it's a new textbook, it's new content. We're doing Office 2019 instead of Office 2016. So because the content is copied from one course into the next one, you may see some links here and there that reference McGraw-Hill and the My Labs and Mastering. If you see that, ignore it. Ignore the MyLabs and Mastering. We will only be using Simnet, so please don't get confused with that. You'll notice here these office hours, and actually this is an old post as well. I thought I had changed it. They're actually going to be from 9 until 10 because my children get up at the crack of dawn because they have cross country and marching band. I got to go to bed earlier than this. So I will update that as well when I'm not a student in eCampus. But the correct time should be in the syllabus. So the thing you need to know most important thing, and where everything is going to be, is here under the Content tab. So in the Content tab is where you're going to find everything. Notice here, the first thing I want you to see is you have an orientation, you have a course feedback. You really don't need to do anything with that right now. You can do it whenever you want to. And you notice you see weeks 1 and 2. Okay. There are 16 weeks in this class. There are 16 weeks of content. You just don't see them, okay? The reason why is part of this orientation module is in the syllabus and course policies. So that you read it, you have to take this quiz. In this quiz are questions specific to the syllabus to show that you have actually read it. You have listened to my video, whatever else, so that you understand the requirements of the course. You have to make an 80% on this quiz. It is not included in your grade, and you can take it as many times as you need to make that 80%. But until you make 80% on that quiz, you are not going to see these other modules, okay? You are only going to see these 2. So do that as soon as possible. So a little bit on the orientation module. So you got to meet your instructor, or orientation. Let's start here. So this is your student learning outcomes that you're going to see here at the very beginning. Read it if you like. It's really, this is not, the student learning outcomes is not in the syllabus, so you don't have to worry about that. But Blinn requires us to put this stuff on here. This is what you will learn over the course of this semester. Okay, as we go in, meet your instructor. So this is me. I am, as of a week ago, the Computer Information Technology Program Coordinator. So I teach personal computer hardware, Linux, Windows, networking, programming, databases, you name it. When it comes to technology, I probably teach it in some form or fashion. But then, of course, I teach BCIS as well. I love to teach. I love to help y'all learn. That is my purpose. That's why I'm here, is to help you learn. So if you have any problems, if you need anything, please, 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 please tell me, and I will help you with whatever I can. Okay, my office number and my cell phone number. Feel free to call me or text me on my cell phone if you can't reach me in my office. If I am teaching, I won't answer it. If I don't recognize your phone number because you didn't text me first or let me know, I won't answer it the first time. When I find out who it is, then I will program it in my phone so that it'll come up with your name, and I will know to answer it in the future. I get so many marketing calls and stuff like that I just don't answer blind phone calls. So just text me first and say, hey, this is so-and-so from your BCIS class and I need help, and we'll arrange a time that we can talk. We can text back and forth. I might be able to answer your question by text. I may not be able to. We can arrange a time to actually talk and kind of work from there, and we'll continue to go forward. I will have virtual office hours. I also have face-to-face office hours. I don't see them on here, but they're on the syllabus. But I'll try to update this as well. Virtual office hours, as you see, is in there. We will not be using TeamViewer. Like I said, this is updated. We'll be using Skype, so don't worry about TeamViewer. Anything that you see that references TeamViewer in my course, you can ignore that as well. Please allow me 24 hours to respond. Usually I can get to it before then, with the exception of weekends. Okay, I have a family. I have 4 kids. We're very, very busy. We're very involved in church and so on and so forth. So, and I have to have days off too. So, I may not be able to return your phone calls on a Saturday or on a Sunday. So everything, as far as your quizzes, your exams, your assignments, everything is in Simnet. Absolutely everything that you do in this class is in Simnet. Okay? Your final grade is going to be in eCampus, but all your grades from Simnet are going to link over into eCampus, but eCampus will have your official grade. Okay, continuing down to your syllabus. So this is kind of a summary of your syllabus. Attendance is mandatory. Now, okay, so how do we take attendance in an online class? Well, attendance is determined by the completion of assignments in an online class, okay? So you must complete 2/3 of the assignments each week with a grade of 50% or greater to be considered attending the class. This is important, okay? 50% or greater. If you have not completed 2/3 of the assignments, so if there are 3 assignments in that week, you have to complete 2 of those to be considered attending in this class. Now, does that mean you're going to pass the class? No, because if you miss a third of all the assignments, even if you make 100 on everything, you're looking at a 66. Okay? You still have to finish the assignments. You still have to do the assignments. But in order to be considered attending the class, you have to complete 2/3 of the assignments with at least a 50% grade. Okay? If 4 or more absences are accumulated, irregardless of whether or not, well, I shouldn't say whether or not we've talked. There are exceptions. But if you're not communicating with me and you're missing lots of classes, then I have the ability to drop you from the class. So keep that in mind, okay? The grading criteria, I know these are funky percentages, but it all works out. The readings, projects, quizzes, exams, the reading is not exactly what you think. You'll find out when you get into Simnet, it's a little bit better than what you're like, oh my gosh, do I actually have to read this whole stinking book? No, you really don't. Okay, but there are things in there called let me tries, and those are what you have to do in order to get the grade for reading the chapter. Okay, grade breakdown is your normal 90 to 100A, so on and so forth. Okay, all assignments are due at the end of the week on a Sunday, on the Sunday by 11:59 p.m. That is when all assignments are due. Anything after that will receive a 5% deduction per day they are late. Okay. Because this is an online class, once you do the syllabus quiz and you open up the rest of these weeks, every single assignment is open as of today, as of the start of class. Every assignment is open and you can work on it. You can work ahead. You can work ahead as fast as you want to. You could be done with this class in 4 weeks if you really wanted to, with the exception of the exams. But you could do everything else. So keep that in mind when you are dealing with your other classes as well. So if you have a couple of classes, it's coming up to test week, and you've got like 3 classes that have major exams and you have a paper due, plan ahead. Plan ahead on that and work on my class ahead of time. Get it done and out of the way, and you won't have to worry about my class that week when you have all these tests and projects due. You have the ability to do that. If you know you're going to be out of town, start working on those assignments before you go out of town. Get them done before you leave, and then you have a week off. So you're good to go. Okay? Academic integrity and proctoring. So everything that you submit in Simnet, all the projects, the exams, are subject to academic integrity, and they are checked. Okay, Simnet has a way of checking to make sure you are submitting the work that you do. If you don't, it's going to flag, and you will be caught, and there's going to be instances. Okay, not only is it going to flag that you copied or that you cheated, it's also going to flag the student that you cheated from. Okay, so both of you are going to get in trouble, or at least both of you are going to get talked to. People don't believe me when I say that this happens. It happens, and it works. So just do your own work. I have no problem with y'all working together. That's great. That's wonderful. You learn better when you work with somebody. But you can't do one person does one assignment and one person does another assignment and you give it to each other. That doesn't work. Won't fly. It's just not going to work. Do your own work. By all means, work together, but do your own work. Okay, the Concourse Syllabus, the full official long syllabus, is located here so that you can see the concourse. So it does have the final exam dates in it. The final exam will be online as well. Here are my office hours. I am available on Mondays and Wednesdays as well as Fridays. Just let me know if you need me, okay? A little bit further down, here's your SLOs again. Here's the book. Now, as far as the book it goes itself, you do not have to buy the full paper book. You can buy only the access code if that's what you want. I recommend that. It gives you access to the ebook, and you're going to need that more than anything else. You're going to use that ebook continuously, okay? Most of my students, this is why we've made it so where it's not required, even in my face-to-face class, they never use the paperback book. So why buy it? If you get into the class and you purchase the access code and you decide later that you do want the paperback book, you can purchase that from McGraw-Hill at a much discounted, a much lower cost, because you've already got the access code and you can just purchase the book itself. Most of my students really don't need it. That's why we did not make it required. Only the access code is required. Okay. This is important to notice, okay? Wow, I can't believe that still says 2013. That should say 2019. The assignments, most of the assignments can be done on a PC or on a Macintosh. The only ones that cannot be done are the ones in Access. So you will have 4 chapters worth from Access that you have to do on a Windows machine that has Microsoft Access on it. There is not a version of Microsoft Access for the Mac. It is not available through Office 365 for the Mac. It's not available to be done in a browser on a Mac. It's just not available, okay? So if you have a Macintosh, you can do everything else in this class using a Macintosh computer. You cannot do the Access stuff. You will have to go to a Windows machine. There are plenty of Windows machines in the Open Access Labs. Feel free to use those. You can use a work computer, just anything that is a Windows operating system that you can download and install the Microsoft Office on it, which you get free of charge as a student. That's what you're going to need. Everything else can be done on a Mac. And McGraw-Hill is actually really, really good. They give you a separate set of instructions specifically for Macintosh to make it work for your stuff. So it's just Access is not available for a Mac. It's just not. Okay, so a little bit more on the Simnet, the course policies, what you're supposed to do. So you're going to read. You're going to have 2 to 4 projects per chapter. The quizzes, you're going to have 1 quiz. We're going to have 3 major exams, and then we'll have a comprehensive final. So that's kind of how that breaks up. Please use your Blinn email address. That's how I will send out my official communication. Makeup work, let me know, and I'll work with you and see what we need to do. Homework, again, this is an online class, so pretty much everything is homework. So you're going to do this. The Inclass Quiz can be taken at any time. It doesn't have to be taken before or after the guided project. You may even want to take it after you do the projects, just because you'll have more familiarity with what you're doing. But honestly, it's up to you. All of the projects, every single one of the projects has 5 submissions to it. So you can try 5 times to be able to up your grade on those projects. And I recommend that you use as many of those as possible. You do the project once, you upload it, it will tell you exactly what mistakes you have made. You correct those mistakes and you re-upload it for a better grade. It works beautifully. You learn from your mistakes, you learn how to correct things, and it's really good. Okay, so I did put in here information on the Open Computer Labs, both on the Bryan and the Brenham campus. Headphones and stuff, that really doesn't apply for online classes. I teach my face-to-face the same as online, so everything is exactly the same. That's why you see, some stuff that applies simply, solely to a face-to-face class. Okay, and then here you have your schedule. This is what we're going to be covering throughout the weeks. You can see first exam is due during week 4 by 9/22 at 11:59 p.m. So this is also how exams are done. Exams are online. They are a project, just like your other projects that you're doing. They are called capstone projects. These capstone projects, they're actually badging, and they're projects that basically say if you make a 90 or above on this project, you know enough to be certified in Word or Excel or whatever else. You could go take the Microsoft certification and be certified in it. So that's what those are. You will download the project. You will have the whole week to work on it, and then you can submit it whenever you're ready. Even the exam, you get 2 tries on the exam. So you can submit the exam 1 time, download it, check what your grade you get. It's going to tell you what you did right and wrong. You can fix it and upload it again for a better grade. That's entirely up to you and how you want to do it, but you get 2 tries on exams. You get 5 tries on all other projects, 2 tries on exams. We've got lots of Excel, and Excel I'm taking slow because people have the hardest time with Excel. So we're going to spend the most time on Excel. It's going to be the most beneficial for y'all, especially with a lot of the fields, healthcare, accounting, finance, any of those types of fields, you're going to need Excel, and you're really going to need to learn how to use to understand it. So we're going to spend a lot of time on it. And then we've got 3 weeks of access. This is when, if you have a Macintosh, you are going to have to be on a Windows machine. Again, you can work ahead. When you work ahead, you will be able to, I mean, you could probably hammer out access in 1 week if you wanted to, if you worked ahead. The reading, you can do that on a Macintosh. It's just the projects you cannot do on a Mac. You have to do those projects on a Windows machine. And then we're going to have 2 weeks of PowerPoint, and we're done. Okay. Let's go back to our orientation. Simnet. Okay, so this is what you're going to need for Simnet. You have to enroll in Simnet. When you get that access code, or even if you don't have that access code, you can get a 2-week trial for Simnet. I recommend you get that as soon as possible. If you have the code already, fantastic, let's go forward. If not, get the 2-week trial, and then once you know you're going to stay in the course, or you have the money to buy the access code, you get the access code, you'll be able to enter it in and continue seamlessly with the course. So you're going to click on McGraw-Hill Simnet, and it's going to come up, and I'm going to put in my information. Okay, and now if you don't have an account, you're going to say no, create a new account. And this is where you'll go through the create account. There's actually a video that I sent you an email that explains how exactly to do this. And this is when you create the new account. They'll ask you to put in an access code, so on and so forth. If you have an account already, fantastic. It will also ask you to put in an access code later. It's not going to ask me because I'm the instructor, and you're going to see a little bit of a different screen than what you will, but I'll show you it in just a minute. So I'm going to sign in. Okay, this is my instructor screen. I'm going to go to Sim Student. This is basically what you're going to see. You can, for the most part, ignore this. This is probably the only time you are going to ever see this screen in this class. So once you're in here, you know you're in my class. Right here is the title, N01-Wiggins. You're in my class. We're good to go. You're linked up. You're synced. Everything is awesome. You can actually close out that window, and we will go forward. So that is Simnet. Okay. Proctoring options. So you do have to have one test proctored. Okay, so here is your A to M is going to proctor test 1, and to Z is going to proctor test 2, and then the makeup exam will be test 3. So, or the test 3 will be anybody who missed the first 2 proctorings, okay? Proctoring is going to be done through HonorLock. It's free for y'all, so you don't have to worry about paying for anything. I will explain a little bit more of that when we get closer to it. If you need to go to the testing center, by all means, you can do that as well. You just need to, what am I thinking? You need to make an appointment with them. So I have no problem with that. Someone has to proctor an exam because we have to verify that it's you that's taking this class. Okay, and then you have college resources. It just kind of gives you some information, accessibility and privacy statements from pretty much everything that we're using. And there you go. Once you've done all this, take the syllabus quiz. You're good to go. And the rest of your weeks are going to open up. I'm going to do another video on how to get through the weeks and the projects and the lessons and that type of stuff. But for right now, this gets you through to the syllabus. Thank you very much. I look forward to hearing from all of y'all, and let me know if you need anything. Thank you very, very much.